Hello everyone, Tina here. I am back with another tutorial. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we're going to create a card. We're using some items from C&CT Stamp. This is part of the brand new Hugs release. C&CT Stamp has December going on right now, but the Hugs release has some amazing products other than dies. And I will leave that entire link for the Hugs release down below if you want to check it out. A lot of fun embossing folders and stamp sets. There's some dies in there too. But today I wanted to share with you how I created this card. I thought this would be a great masculine card, because sometimes Valentine's are a little bit hard with all the lovey stuff to create masculine cards. And I'm going to call this one a 50-50 card. It's very, very easy to create. That mirror cardstock in the background is actually brand new. It's called the mirror ball cardstock. When I first saw this, I thought of two things. One, I thought of the roller rink when back in the heyday, back in my youth, when we went roller skating. I remember on the rink floor, I remember seeing that huge mirror ball in the mirror, and that's what this reminds me of. But it also, when I put it on my card, it kind of reminded me of a candy wrapper. I thought this was really cute. So I'm going to show you how to create this. It's very easy to do. We're not going to use the mirror ball cardstock, but I am going to use an embossing folder and a brand new die. I think you're going to love this die. This is the size of it. This is called the Fancy Love die. It's a 2-piece die set. You have the shadow, and it's a slight shadow. It's not a heavy shadow, and I prefer a light shadow around my elements. And then you have the beautiful love. I just think this is gorgeous. Inside the O, there's a heart, and we're going to use this on our card today. We're going to actually create two. I'll show you how to do one, and then we're going to make another one in a different color, just to show you the different color palettes. For this one I used red and white, and of course the mirror ball, but we're going to use some purples and pinks too. Now we're going to use an embossing folder. This is brand new too. This is the Spun glass embossing folder. I'm going to hold it up really close so you can see the embossed detail in between the waves. Really pretty embossing folder, and we're going to use this. I used this here. What I had actually did is, this is right side up, and then I flipped it to the reverse side, and you have it debossed over here. And again, I want to call these 50-50 cards, but it's very easy to do. Okay, so with this being said, let's jump in and create a card. I have several pieces of cardstock. We're going to use a dark and a light. Now, to do this, you can use any color you'd like. The entire rainbow. You can do every color of your cardstock if you want. And if you want to just use a color in white, it would work for that too. Or a color in black, or a color in anything. Any two colors you have would work perfectly. For this card, I actually used red and white. Today we're going to use 2 shades of pink, and then we're also going to bring in 2 shades of purple. But I want to show you how I do it really quick. I have 2 card front panels. I'm going to layer them together. I'm going to use my paper trimmer. We're going to trim this down so I have a little bit of a border on my card base. I'm going to trim this down to a panel that measures 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. I always like to save my strips because you never know when you can use them. So these are the panel. Now on our card base, this is going to be the background. So it's going to leave a 1/4 inch all around my card base. And I have 2 of them I cut at the same time. Okay. I have some printer paper that's an A2 panel, and I'm going to take this, and then using one of my infinity circle dies, I pick one that would leave me a little bit of a border on my love. You can see the love will fit right inside of it. Okay, this is a Hero Arts and nested circle dies. I'm going to die cut out a circle. Now you can skip this if you want, but this just helps me with precision. And so I'm going to run this through my die cut machine. And again, this is just printer paper. I went ahead and took my circle, and all I did was fold it in half. Again, this is a printer paper. Okay, we're going to set this aside. I'm going to take my 2 panels. You can trim them at the same time or do one at a time. But then I'm going to take this, put this in my paper trimmer, and we're going to trim this at 2.5 inches. 2.5 inches is the halfway mark. Let me show you. So if you were to flip-flop it, like so, it goes back to the same size panel we had originally. And that's what we want. I'm going to use one set, and then on the other set, I'm going to layer them together. And this is where your template comes in. Taking the folded edge, I'm going to line it up here. And I think I can get away with die cutting out both of these at the same time. If not, I'll have to run it through individually. But I'm going to go ahead and take that same die. I don't know why I put it away. Okay, I'm going to take that same die, line up my template, line up my die, and I'm going to run this through my die cut machine. I die cut my circles, and I did have to do them separately. I couldn't die cut them together using my machine. I think depending on the weight of your cardstock would be whether you can do it together or separately or not. Stacking them basically. Your template, you can put in whatever nesting die you're using. I'm using circles, but today's 50-50 cards you could do with ovals, triangles, diamonds would be really pretty. You could do it with any basic shape, and I think that's fabulous. So our half circles are done. If we flip them around, we now have a whole circle. And then we also have our panel here that is whole, and that's what we're looking for, 50-50. Now we have a piece of white cardstock, and then we have our love. I'm going to use the same cardstock here, and I'm going to die cut out a love with the pink, with the fuchsia and then the pink. Okay, and then I'm going to die cut out a shadow with white cardstock. Now in the love, let me show you. There is a little heart. Maybe the packaging can show it a little bit better. There's a little heart here. I want that to be white. So I went through my heart dies and I found one that's pretty close. This is from Lawn Fawn, and it's a pretty small heart, but I'm going to die cut this out with white cardstock also. Okay, this is Spellbinder's pop-up foam. We're going to use this to die cut out our outline, not only with white cardstock, we're going to die cut it out with our foam too, that we have a little dimension. Okay, so let's run everything through our die cut machine. So we have our foam, our pop-up foam, die cut with the love, and then we have our fuchsia and our light pink. Now to create our 50-50 with our love, I'm going to use my tape runner. I'm going to lightly tack both loves together. You want to be able to remove these, but you don't want them to shift. You want them lined up kind of pretty. And then we're going to, if you don't have pop-up foam, you can die cut out a few extra loves with white cardstock and layer them together also. That's an option. I'm going to take my paper trimmer and we're going to guesstimate the 50 on here. I'm going to go ahead and trim it. So our bottom is one piece, and then our top looks like we went into two different pieces, and that's okay. Now we tack these together, so we're going to remove them. And when we're done, you're going to have an extra set, so you can do this again with no problem. So this would be great for mass producing. Okay, we're going to put this off to the side. Now I'm going to use my glue, and I'm going to add some glue to my foam love. So either way, you can experiment with which way you want it, but our sentiment is good to go. We're going to take this and put this on our shadow. I'm going to add some glue. Basically what you want to do is just secure these so they don't move when you emboss. So let's tape these together. And I'll do the same thing with this panel. And of course you don't have to flip it over, but some cut lines are nicer than, especially when you die cut out the circles, some cut lines are there. We'll tack these together so they're not going to shift or move. And then using our spun glass embossing folder, we're going to emboss both of these. We have both of our panels. This is our taped side, and you'll notice on this one, I didn't do this intentionally, this was actually an accident, but that's okay. On this circle, I flipped over the embossing folder to the reverse side. So we have a right side up and then an upside down. For this one, I just did the entire thing upside down because you can see the right side up has the tape here. But of course, your love will cover it if you want the right side up. Okay, but I will like the upside down, so we're going to use this. I like the right side up for a background. And of course, you want to make sure you have it the right way. I'll place this with the dark pattern on the bottom. Lovely. We're going to take this, flip it over. I'm going to add some foam tape behind here. We'll just remove the release paper. We'll tack this down. Now, you want to make sure that your left and right lines, your 50-50 lines, are lined up with your 50-50 panel in the background. And it's very easy to line up. And then after we have this done, you could actually go 1/4, 3/4. That would be pretty too. I'm going to use my glue. Go over the back side of my love. I'm going to use glue. Go over the back side of my. I put some glue behind the back side of my fancy love. This is going to go right in the middle. We're going to go ahead and finish this off with a little bit of diamond stickles. It's an iridescent glitter. And this way we have a little bit of sparkle on here. Not as much as the mirror ball cardstock, but we'll let this dry. And in the meantime, we're going to work on our purple. Adhere these. I didn't tape this one down. Once we have our background adhered, and this is the reverse side of our embossing folder. Now we're going to take the positive side here, the tape's in the back. I'm going to go ahead and put some foam tape behind this. I'm going to remove the release paper. We're going to add this, lining up those seams. And then we'll add some glue behind our love. And we'll place this in the middle. And you want to make, I didn't mention this, but when you line up your love, you want to make sure that your 50-50 line is lined up. All of them in the center. And then this card's just about done. I do want to bring in some liquid pearls. This is Fuchsia Fury. And we're going to add a little extra color. I haven't used this forever. I don't even know if this is going to work. And we're going to go over our heart. And my liquid pearls is about maybe 2 or 3 years old. I haven't used it forever, but still goes. So there is our heart and our love here. We have our pink one, and then we have our mirror ball. Some fun, easy cards, and you can easily do 6 of these in no time. But I hope you get a chance to check out the brand new Hugs release over at the C&CT Stamp Shop. And thanks for joining me. Happy Friday to you all. Have a wonderful weekend. And I appreciate all your comments. They keep me going. And have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.